Ayesha and Steph Curry are an NBA power couple, but there's so much more to these two than the game. Are they really in an open marriage? And what's with the feet pics? Answers straight ahead. Ayesha and Steph Curry seem to have a pretty perfect union, especially by celebrity couple standards. But that's not to say they are not above being the center of speculation. In 2021, the Instagram gossip page Du Moi shared a blind item on their stories from an anonymous source about a famous NBA couple who weren't as faithful as they appeared. The post read, in part, "They both have side hookups and flings, but keep it very private to keep up the perfect family image they show to the world." A month later, Ayesha was forced to address the rumors on Instagram. On a post celebrating her hubby's GQ cover story, a since-deleted comment criticized her for wanting an open relationship with Steph. Ayesha was quick to deny the accusations. She responded to the comment, "Don't believe everything you read. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Don't disrespect my marriage like that. Please and thank you." While Steph Curry has been on the record about appreciating Ayesha's smarts and talents just as much as her beauty, there is one body part that he is particularly drawn to. And it's probably not what most people would assume it to be. Steph loves his wife's feet. In fact, Ayesha knows how much he goes gaga over her toes, so she makes sure to snap pics of them for him. She showed off a picture of her tootsies on an episode of the daytime talk show The Real, confessing that she sends him foot pics on the regular.
My husband really loves my feet.
Oh, I love that.
And so, the light was hitting him just right that day.
It is hard to believe that Ayesha Curry once held a no-athletes dating policy. Luckily for Steph Curry, that policy certainly crashed and burned. Ayesha elaborated on her former high school dating stance when the pair appeared on The Tonight Show. The best-selling cookbook author shared with Jimmy Fallon a story about how her teenage self had been instructed to write down qualities of a dream date. In capital letters, she wrote, "No athletes."
It was High School Musical days. I was in my feelings, and I wrote that on there.
Speaking to People, Ayesha further elaborated that she had the policy as a teenager because she thought athletes were arrogant.
So it's like one of those things, be careful what you say because God definitely has a sense of humor.
A teenage Ayesha thought future hubby Steph Curry was a dreamboat, even back when the pair were shy, church-going kids. She described her initial impressions to People, saying, "He was a cute boy at church that all of the girls were obsessed with." Her family didn't see the love connection right away. In fact, Ayesha told Jimmy Fallon that her parents had a very different first reaction to Steph.
I just remember thinking he was so cute, and my family being like, "He looks like your brother."
She went on to say she doesn't see the resemblance, but all of their family definitely does.
We took a 23andMe test. We're in the clear.
No. Steph Curry's parents couldn't be happier about their son's partner. And his mom Sonia isn't shy about gushing over the pair's love, calling it so beautiful and so perfect in Marcus Thompson's book, Golden: The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry. For a time, Sonia praised that her son would focus only on school and basketball, and not on girls. But in spring 2008, she began to pray that he would find a significant other. By that summer, Steph had relocated to Los Angeles, where he reconnected with Ayesha. Previously, the culinary entrepreneur had attempted to win the heart of her church crush in a very sweet way, by using candy to land her man.
I love Canadian candy, and so she was the candy plug for a long time.
Still, not everyone was impressed. As a little sister watching from the sidelines, Sadell Curry thought her future sister-in-law's attempts to charm Steph were weak. She recalled in Golden, "That's how she would flirt with him. She would find him after church, barely say 2 words, and walk away. I would look at her like, God, she's so lame." He clearly liked it. It left an impression. Celebrity engagements can be over-the-top, highly publicized deals. But not every celeb throws down the big bucks for a moment of a lifetime. When Steph Curry proposed to Ayesha, there were no fireworks, no string quartets, and no lavish party. In planning his proposal, the basketball star stayed intimate and meaningful, popping the question to his future bride in the most modest, down-to-earth way possible. Steph explained in an interview with Parents magazine, "The plan was to act like we were going to a family cookout. So we pulled up to the house and I stopped in the middle of the driveway, got down on my knee, and went into my spiel. Little did I know the whole family was looking out the window, videotaping the moment." The engagement venue was simple but not without sentiment, as the driveway Steph proposed in was also the scene of their first kiss. 10 years later, they renewed their vows in a similar down-to-earth, family-centric fashion. Ayesha shared the renewal news in a sweet Instagram post, but she revealed that her husband surprised her with the ceremony. Plenty of women wed to the biggest names of the sport relish the title of basketball wife, but not Ayesha Curry. During an interview with Good Morning America, she explained her stance.
I like to say I'm just a young woman who happened to marry somebody that ended up playing basketball.
She added that Steph shares her feelings on the matter, explaining, "For him, I don't think he would identify himself as a basketball player. He's a young man of God, placed in a great position doing what he loves, playing basketball." She reiterated her down-to-earth perspective in 2018, telling NBC News that out of the many roles she has, being a mom and a wife are the two that take priority for her. Ayesha may prefer not to call herself a basketball wife, but that doesn't mean she steers clear of the court. Making games isn't as easy now as it was pre-kids, but she still makes it a point to show her sideline support when she can, especially when the game is a big one. If she can't be there, expect a shout-out on social media. When Steph Curry made three-point history in 2021, Ayesha got on Instagram to sing his praises, writing, 2,974 and counting. Congrats, my baby. I love you so much. You did that. To God be the glory. I'm so proud of you. When Steph and Ayesha Curry announced they were getting married, there had to be droves of well-wishers who couldn't wait to shower the beautiful couple with love and fancy gifts. With plenty of famous besties, the Currys could have started their marriage with gorgeous wedding gifts galore. But the humble pair decided to skip the traditional registry. Instead, they asked that those wanting to do something special in honor of their upcoming nuptials donate to a cause dear to their hearts. Per a press release, the couple asked guests to donate to Thanks USA, an organization devoted to providing scholarship opportunities to the families of soldiers.
So please, give to Thanks USA. Your support can help them win.
The Currys are no strangers to giving. Steph has supported many charities, including Nothing But Net, Animal Rescue Foundation, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, Brotherhood Crusade, and more. In 2019, he and his wife launched Eat, Learn, Play, a foundation providing meals to families in Oakland, California, who were at risk of food insecurity. 2 years later, the charity had provided 16 million meals to families. All couples have to find ways to keep the spark in their romance. When it comes to keeping the flame burning, high-profile couples are no different than everyday pairs who have to find ways to ignite their passion. Steph and Ayesha Curry have their own way of keeping the spice in their marriage. However, their trick to staying hot for one another is about as simple as it comes. The power duo makes sure to maintain their date nights. They strip off their titles of basketball star and wife, and of being mom and dad to 3 kids, and get back to some relationship basics. Ayesha revealed to Access Hollywood, "For us, it's just not forgetting to date each other, make the time to get dressed up, and go out and do all the things. That's what keeps it spicy." The wealthy king and queen of the court could jet to the most romantic places on earth, but the Currys simply get dressed up and go out together. Sometimes they even stay in. As Steph fessed up to eat online, his ideal date night takes place at home. He said, "We love to order in, sweatpants, big old t-shirt, no makeup, some wine." They aren't shy about posting their stolen moments on Instagram either, showing moms and dads everywhere that love can be simple no matter who you are. Steph Curry might be a star on the court, but not in the grocery aisles, if Ayesha Curry has anything to say about it. In an ABC News interview, the Golden State Warriors player revealed that grocery store shopping isn't exactly his specialty, admitting, "My wife doesn't let me do it that often because I always mess something up. I'll forget one of the main ingredients for the recipe, so I'm on a short leash when it comes to the grocery store runs. But I like doing it." It isn't just store runs Steph apparently fails at. He admitted to Bay Area rap legend E40 in a 5 minutes from home interview that he's also lacking in culinary skills, saying, "I can't cook for nothing. I met my wife, she can cook for the both of us. If I ever tried to get in the kitchen trying to help, she gave me the side-eye like, nah, I got this, don't mess with my process." In fairness to him, Ayesha is definitely fully capable of handling that domain herself. Steph's entrepreneur wife is a successful cookbook author, a cooking show host, the name behind a QVC cookware line, and a partner of the successful restaurant International Smoke. Lots of athletes have rituals they engage in before playing a game. Some rituals are pretty normal, like how Tiger Woods wore a red shirt on Sundays to reach his best golf game. Others are wild, such as Jason Giambi and the golden thong that he swears helps bring him baseball greatness. According to E! News, Steph and Ayesha Curry have a pre-game ritual of their own. Before Steph takes to the court and starts slinging three-pointers, he taps a tattoo of 2 arrows pointing towards one another on his left arm. Wherever Ayesha is in the stands, she returns the tab by touching the matching tat she shares with her hubby. Speaking to People, entertainment reporter Kat Sadler claimed that the couple got inked after seeing her very own 2 arrows tattoo. As she explains, the tattoo has a powerful meaning to it, offering a reminder to let go of the past and to stay in the present, as nothing in the future is guaranteed. When the couple saw Sadler explaining the tattoo on TV, they apparently got the same design. Steph and Ayesha also have matching tattoos honoring each of their children. Hey, the couple that tats together stays together. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.